You ask and you shall receive. A couple of days ago, somebody commented in one of my comment sections, "Hey Mark, can we see a top 10 cars for under $25,000? And I was like, yeah, why not? We can do that. So that's what we're doing. Hi guys, my name is Mark Roden. Welcome back to the channel. That comment kind of sparked an idea in my head. I'm getting a project car pretty soon, but in the meantime, and once I get the car, I'm not going to have a lot of money to make content on it. So in the meantime, we're going to be doing a little bit of a mini series. I've done plenty of top 10 sports cars under 10K and budget sports cars like that, but I've never done it higher than that. So we're going to go from 25K down by 5,000. So we're going to do 25K, 20K, 15K, then 10K. And then from 10K down to 1,000, we're going to do it all by one. So we're going to do a video of 10K, 9K, 8K, 7K. If you guys enjoy that type of stuff, the budget top 10 cars, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to be making these a lot, and I appreciate all the support I've been getting lately. Let's get right into the list. 10th is the ND Mazda Miata, because it isn't a list without a freaking Miata, and it came with a 2-liter inline-4 that made 181 horsepower, and it was of course rear-wheel drive, just like every other Miata ever built. I don't think they've never made another Miata that wasn't rear-wheel drive. Anyway, now I know you think that that's underpowered. 181 horsepower, I understand. That's not a lot of power. But these cars weighed in at just over 2,300 pounds. I think it was 2,331 to be exact. And they have perfect 50-50 weight distribution. So racing around a track, at least, you do not need to worry about that power because you don't need it. The car is light. The car has great weight distribution. It corners like a dream. This is the newest Miata, and to some people, they don't like the new looks of them. But personally, I think it's the most aggressive looking Miata. That doesn't mean I think it's the best looking Miata. I do think it's most aggressive, and on top of looking cool, it performs extremely well. So it's a pretty good Miata. 9th is the Alfa Romeo Giulia. I never thought I'd be saying an Alfa Romeo would be on my list, but it came with a 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6 that made a freaking whopping 505 horsepower, and it was best wheel drive, rear wheel drive. They came with all wheel drives options though, so if you live in a snowy area, go with that one. But that's freaking crazy. I never knew this car was such a beast. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure why more people in the car scene don't own one of these. I thought at first they're just really expensive, but when I did my research, they're under 25K. They look amazing, they make great power, and they're extremely unique. You would think that would mean that people would buy them, but I guess not. At the moment, they cost the same as a freaking Miata. Personally, guys, I'm sorry, but personally, I would go with this car. If I had 25K and I had to choose between these two cars, I would go with the Giulia. 8th place is the British Mazda Miata, the Lotus Elise, and it came with a 1.8 liter inline-4 making 217 horsepower. That's in a car that weighed 2,010 pounds. Literally only 10 pounds over 2,000. That's so crazy. That's so close to being under 2,000 pounds. But anyway, it was of course rear-wheel drive. Everything that's great in life is rear-wheel drive. This car just sounds like a better Miata in absolutely every way. The only reason I'd stick with the Miata over the Elise is the price for parts and aftermarket support for the Elise is just god awful. I mean, there's not a lot of people that own an Elise, and there's not a lot of people that own an Elise that want to modify the Elise. And it's a Lotus, so there's not that many parts all over the place. But if you have all the money in the world and a bit of creativity, go ahead and pick up your Lotus Elise. 7th is the Ford Mustang GT. I don't know what it's called. I think it's like SN. No, it's not SN97. Is it SN? It might be SN97. I have no idea. But it came with a 5-liter V8 making 460 horsepower. And yes, of course, it was rear-wheel drive. But that power number is actually pretty insane. I didn't think that these cars made that much horsepower. Then again, it is a Mustang and it has that 5.0 badge. And I always was wondering, why do people love the 5.0 badge so much? I guess this is why. Making 460 horsepower. Now I understand why people crash these freaking things into crowds. There's like a weird cult following behind the Mustang. So there are plenty, and I mean plenty of them out there. So all that means is that prices for these cars depreciate faster than a freaking Hyundai Genesis. Okay, these cars, if you buy one of these right now, do not expect to make your money back within 10 years. It won't happen. These Mustangs will not go for the same amount of money that they're costing right now, but they're still a really cool car. 6th place is a Chevy Corvette C6 coming with a 7-liter V8 making 505 horsepower. Yeah, that's right, a 7-liter V8. That's pretty freaking sick. Of course, it was rear-wheel drive, and this one is by far one of the best deals if you're going for strictly performance. Yes, this horsepower is the same as the Giulia that we just mentioned, but it also weighs less and has a better weight distribution, and it's more of a sports car than the Giulia actually is. The reason I put it this low on the list is because personally I like the looks and the community better than most of the other cars on this list. But if you don't really care too much about that community aspect of it, or if you like the community for them, then it's an unbelievably good deal. Now the C6 has dipped below the 25K range. I think that it's safe to buy one right about now because I don't think they're going to get too much cheaper than that. I think they're probably going to start going back up within a couple of years. Fifth place is the Subaru WRX STI Raptor. This is the first time that an STI has actually made my list since they've always been about budget, and STRs are not budget cars. But it came with a 2.5 liter turbocharged flat 4 making 310 horsepower, and sadly it was on an all-wheel drive platform. But that's okay. For most people too, they like all-wheel drive better than they like rear-wheel drive anyways. Me personally, I like the whole idea of drifting and burnouts. That's the only reason why I always say like rear-wheel drive is the best. It's not actually the best. All-wheel drive is actually the best. Also, if you need a car that you can daily drive but still have a lot of fun in, the WRX is a absolutely amazing choice, as it is all-wheel drive, and so you can drive it during the winter. The newest addition to the STI family, which is this car, is better than the previous. Obviously, that's what they do, and it looks absolutely amazing while still being driven absolutely any and everywhere, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you understand what I mean, but it looks good while being good. Fourth place is the BMW M3 E92, E93, or E90, whichever one suits you best, and it came with a 4-liter V8 making 414 horsepower, and of course it was rear-wheel drive. It looked absolutely amazing. One of my favorite BMWs to ever come out. They had a freaking coupe, convertible, and a sedan option. That's what E90 is, a sedan, E92 is a coupe, E93 is a convertible. So they can fit your needs, and they are instant classics. That is the one thing that I love about the M cars. If you hold on to it long enough, it'll be worth its price, and most likely more than you bought it for within 10 years. Obviously, the community is huge for them. It's a freaking BMW, and BMWs are absolutely everywhere, but just be ready for every single 3 Series owner that isn't an M to want to race you so that they can prove themselves. They do it all the time. 328i's, 330i's, 335i's. They always want to race the M3 so that they can say, yeah, but my car's faster than an M3 though. Third place, bronze medal, is the 2nd generation Dodge Viper, coming with coming with an 8-liter V10 making 450 horsepower, and it was death wheel drive. Not rear wheel drive. This thing was freaking death wheel drive. Yes, this car did have a V10. Yes, this car will catch eyes. Everybody will be looking at your car. Yes, it will be a piece of shit for under $10,000, not $10,000, for under $25,000. If you can find it for under $25,000, good luck. Yes, it was absolutely freaking dangerous. That's why I called it death wheel drive. If you don't know about the Dodge Vipers, they had an insanely high crash rate when they first came out, and the 2nd generation didn't do too much better. It did better, but not that much better. The reason why I had to put it this high on the list is just because it kind of really planted the whole idea that Dodge just doesn't really care about like safety, if that makes any sense. They always just are like, you know what? Let's just make the biggest horsepower, and I love that about them. Second place silver medal is a Mitsubishi Evo 9, coming with a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4 making 286 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive, of course, since it's a rally beast. But that's because it's a rally beast. Come on now. Personally, I love the Evos a little bit more than the WRXs, all right? I said it. I like the Evos better, but everyone has their own preference. If you like the WRX better, that's okay. I'm not saying that they're a bad car, obviously, because I put it on this list, but that's the reason why I put it higher, strictly because I like it better. If you're on a budget, then I recommend taking the WRX over the Evo, because the Evo will cost you an arm and a leg to maintain. But if you're ballin', buy a freaking Evo. The engine was an absolute beast. The car looked like a freaking Victoria's Secret supermodel, and it was all-wheel drive, so daily driving is still kind of a risk because of how old it is, but it's possible. First place is my absolute dream car, my favorite car ever built, the Mazda RX-7 FD3S. And before you say, Mark, that is not under 25K, you must have forgot to put on your glasses this morning. Look it up, man. they're under 25K. Okay, I looked it up. I did my research. I found 3 for under 25K. They came with a 1.2 liter, 2-rotor Renesis rotary engine. I'm sorry if I butchered the name of that engine. I have no idea how to read rotary engines. They're so freaking confusing. But it made 255 horsepower, and it was, of course, rear-wheel drive. It has freaking pop-up headlights. Who doesn't like pop-up headlights? It has personally the best taillights I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen taillights that look better than the freaking RX-7 taillights. That's why I love this car so much. It looks great with almost anything you do to it. It makes the best noise possible. And at the time it was built, it was extremely freaking unique. Nobody had them. This car is my absolute dream car, like I said before. And when I saw they were going for under 25K, a little glimmer happened in my eyes. All right, but that is the end of this list, guys. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel and stick around. Like I said, we're going to be doing a whole little mini series of this, so strap in, put your seatbelts on, get your popcorn, I guess, ready, because we're going to be doing a lot of these. Also, guys, I'm going to look at a car tomorrow. If you see a video of that within a couple of days, that means I got the car. If you don't, that means I didn't get the car. Hopefully I get it so I can finally start making vlogs like I've always wanted to do for you guys. I love these top 10s, and I won't stop doing the top 10s anytime soon, but I definitely want to start branching out and start doing more like about my life, about me doing my thing. So I hope you guys are excited for that as much as I am. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Hope you stay up to date. Comment down below what other cars should have made the 25K, because obviously there are hundreds and hundreds of good sports cars for under $25,000. These are just the ones that I liked the best. They are not the best for under 25K by no means. So do not take this list to heart. Do your own research, figure out what you want to do. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania. Have a nice day.